You're listening to a Portsmouth studio production. It's time for another episode of M&M Question Everything, where nothing is taboo, from Bigfoot to politics. Join your hosts, Matt Peters and Mark DeBruin, broadcasting live from Portsmouth Studios in cloudy New York. Here is M&M Question Everything.
Here it is. Don't check your screen because we're not videoing today. Because I didn't do my hair.
No video.
I didn't want people looking at me. That was Mark sneezing in the opening.
You're welcome.
I'm sure you guys all heard it. Episode 21, M&M Question Everything. Mark DeBruin and Matt Peters. Is that your car right there?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
my car. It's
Nice.
a Tesla S model.
Nice.
Nice. No, it's not. Ignore the rust. It's fine.
The window's open so I can see stuff outside. It's pretty cool. Although we might have to close it if it gets loud.
Studio cat's taking up all the space.
These are out of order. This whole podcast is out of order.
You can't handle the truth.
Give me a second.
I don't know.
All right. Thank you for listening, liking, and sharing this show on Facebook and following us on Twitter at QuestionNet. Subscribe to this show on iTunes for free by clicking the iTunes banner on ChristopherMedia.net. Android users, we're on Stitcher. Donate to ChristopherMedia.net on their website or question-everything.net for donate us. Amazon banner on all the places. Lots of noise happening. Give us money at Amazon. DraftKings.com, One Day Fantasy Sports. Go there. Play sports. You're cool. Make money. Unregimented. Weedsman. Toddzilla X. And then 2 new shows join the Christopher Media Network. They're official. Unofficial?
No.
They're official. Official?
Official.
Official. The Oddcast with Jenna and John, or Johnny. I'm not sure what he prefers to be called.
John.
John Boy. That is a show that is about odd stuff. So they talk about things that are odd. How many times can I say odd in one sentence?
Ghosts, zombies, apparitions.
Last episode they talked about Heart Island, which is it's an island off of New York that if you die in New York City and they don't know who you are, they put you there. So there's hundreds of thousands of dead bodies just in a mass grave.
Dumping ground.
That's pretty cool. So that's where all the zombies are going to come from.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing another show this afternoon, but it's not going to be live because they're scared to do live stuff. Then Noah's show, The Captain's Table. That's a show about, for the last few episodes, it's been like about tabletop role-playing games.
Mm-hmm.
He did a couple episodes yesterday because he's going to be out of town next weekend. And he did a show about like the Dresden Files tabletop game where they talk about wizards and stuff. It was interesting. So check that show out. Check that show out.
Cool.
They're both on iTunes and Stitcher and ChristopherMedia.net. So make sure you listen. All right. It was a good show.
Good show. Wrap it up, everyone.
So we weren't here last week. Was there a reason? I can't remember. You had
5K.
your 5K.
Yeah, studio got cut off anyway.
Yeah, the roads were closed. I live right next door to a 5K.
So I broke the world record for me doing a 5K.
Whoa. Slow down. What was your time? Did you have
31 minutes, 57 seconds.
I'm not sure if that's good or not, but it sounds good because when I run 5,000 Ks, it takes me a lot longer.
It's a number. I don't know if it's a good number. Well, I finished 60th in my age group. So
That's good.
there were 61 of us. No, I don't know that.
There was a lot of people.
There were 1,500 people running the race, and then there's all the people on the side cheering me on. It was great.
All the people on the side cheering you on specifically? Did you
Well,
have
I
a
mean,
whole
there was a group of people that would go by and they would cheer, and then I would run by and it would get really quiet. And another group behind me would come along and they'd cheer again.
So they were just cheering too soon or too late. They missed you. They just missed you.
Yeah, you have to take a breath at some point, right?
Yeah.
So
They're
it wasn't
human.
personal.
Only human. Huh. So you raised your whole company did it, right? And then how much did you raise personally?
I think about $300, maybe
Wow.
$305. I got to check the exact total.
So what was the people were donating money to you, and did you have to race, or was it just like if you didn't
no.
race, they got their money back?
No, it was through CrowdRise, the website CrowdRise, kind of like a crowdsource, but it's for raising money for charities. So you set up your charity, whatever it is, your event, pick a charity, and then they take care of it. So it's almost like going to Amazon or eBay or something. You just put your credit card information in.
So if you didn't run,
Nobody would
they
know.
still would have got the money.
Yeah. The charity would still get the money. I would sit at home laughing, just wiping the Cheetos dust off my chest.
For charity.
Yeah, not running.
Yeah. Well,
It's for the kids. It's for the kids.
the children are our future.
You got to think of the children.
Think of them. So last weekend I didn't do anything really because Jenna canceled because I don't know why. I think her partner John, who doesn't live in the area, he didn't want to do it or something.
Saw a ghost.
So I had no shows on last Saturday.
It was scary.
I don't know what I did. I must have done something.
How long before they unblocked the roads?
How long? Well, geez, I came back. Oh, that's right. That's what I did on Saturday. I took Brianna to school in the morning, which we left early because the roads were closed, so we had to get out. Like the race started at 8:00, and when we saw people went down University, we were like, "Let's go," because it'll be a half hour before they're on East, and they let us out. It was tricky, but they were like, "Go ahead." And my car inspection of my car is up, so I was like driving past the police officer, like, "Hey guy, don't look at my car, just go on through."
Just constantly looking the other direction and point every once in a while.
Yeah, hey, what's that
is
over there?
it? Oh.
Yeah. So we got through, and then I figured I wasn't going to get home or wasn't going to be able to go back to my house because everything would be closed for at least till like maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock. And so I just went to my mom's house because I had to do some cleaning and stuff for her because they were put down new carpet and I had to move heavy things because that's what I do. I did that until I had to pick her up at noon from school. And that was my Saturday.
Cool. I was done by 9 o'clock in the morning. That was it.
Yeah, there was
Wrap up the day.
There weren't any remnants after like when I got home at 1
yeah.
o'clock. There wasn't any like
Everyone
you couldn't
split.
tell there was a 5K.
Yeah,
Except there was like a palpable like feeling in the air of accomplishment
yeah, and tears,
and tears,
salty tears.
lots of pee everywhere, diapers, Band-Aids.
Actually, my motivation to finish like the last 10th of the race was just to not wet my pants. So I had to find a bathroom.
It's a good plan.
The whole running thing was getting old.
Did you really have to pee the whole time?
Yeah, towards the end, I drank a lot. I got to hydrate. Just drink some water. And 4 hours into the race, I was like, "Yeah, this is getting old."
So how many miles is a 5K? I think it's
3.1.
3. Okay, that's not bad. So you
Not
did
bad.
about a 10-minute mile.
Yeah, 10 and some numbers, seconds.
I went. I had an app on the smartphone, and it was like for running, so it would keep track of your time.
Yeah,
And the GPS must have been off because I got back from running like around the block, and I looked at it and was like, "You ran 3 miles, and you did a 3-minute mile." I was like, "Yeah, I did.
yeah.
I feel good."
And you spike on the ground and champion.
So that was wrong. That was not true. I don't know.
It's a pretty good time. I mean, there are people. Some people walked, some people ran, some people shuffled like me.
Did you laugh at the people that walked and were like, "What are you doing?"
Well, they're it's not socially appropriate because they were in wheelchairs and stuff. So
They walked and they were in wheelchairs. Nice.
no, they're like the people pushing wheelchairs,
Oh,
people
okay.
walking with that. I couldn't walk by and like flex, be like, "Yeah,
Did
game on."
anybody carry people?
No, nothing too dramatic.
No.
It was,
No tears as they walked over the line.
it's tears as I crossed the first mile.
They break down and their knees get wobbly and then they poop themselves.
Yeah, they were cool with it. They brushed it off like it was nothing. I got to the end and I could barely stand. I was like, I'm fine. It's cool.
Well, that sounds like it was a good experience. Is a 5K something you'd like to do again, or was that just because of
No.
peer pressure?
Never again.
Never again.
That was fine. I think total they raised about $180 something thousand to various local charities. So it was a pretty good time.
Wow, I should have a 5K
Yeah,
in honor of me.
I mean, like, you could make a charity and call it whatever, and then you could just pocket the money.
Done. I'm gonna call it whatever.
Whatever, man.
Whatever. I need assistance on my fantasy team again. Listen, guy. Listen. Can we get your brother on the phone? Because I need his help. His advice I won that week that
Nice.
he told me what to do. And then I had Ben Roethlisberger,
Uh-oh.
and I was like, I had no Buffalo Bills on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually like to have at least one Bill so I have because I'm watching their games every week. So I'm like, I want to have some investment in the game.
A token bill.
So I was like, who can I get? So you know who had a really good game the week before? EJ Manuel.
Uh-oh.
So I dropped Roethlisberger and got Manuel because he was a free agent, of course.
Oh, no.
So I had to get rid of him.
I mean, you need to pick up Uncle Ricky now.
Who's that? Is that
Oh, that's Kyle. The new Bills starting quarterback is Uncle Ricky from, what was that? Not super bad. What was that movie with
Napoleon Dynamite?
Napoleon Dynamite?
He does look like him. Oh my god, what is his name? I can't remember.
Uncle Ricky.
Well, what's the football player's name? Kyle Orton. I gotta get a picture of Kyle Orton.
Uncle Ricky. There he is, Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn's married? I didn't even know that. So I have to sign in my Yahoo. So
Imagine that's just a sarcastic existence to be married to Vince Vaughn. Yeah,
Jennifer Aniston.
these eggs are great. This is a wonderful breakfast.
My baby wants lemons. My baby gets lemons.
Shut up, Vince. Vince Vaughn. Why don't you shave your face?
That's all the cool kids have their face. Not sure.
I don't know why I have this unreasonable hate for Vince Vaughn. I actually enjoy his movies.
He hasn't made a good movie in a while though.
Vince, this is tough love. Get it together, man. Call me.
What's the last good Vince Vaughn movie you saw?
Ooh.
We have to go to IMDb because I need a list of actual Vince Vaughn movies because I don't think I've seen. All right, I'll have to. Yeah, but okay, my team. I picked up Flacco because he was the best one I could find to get rid of
Okay.
Manuel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I got a pretty good team this week.
Fraud Jackson.
I put in Fred Jackson because I figured they might run more than pass.
I sure hope so. Well, we'll see.
I need a
After
picture of
last
Kyle.
week.
Orton, though.
After last week's showing.
I don't know why they. Oh my god. Oh man.
His bull
He
haircut.
totally is the
What
guy.
is he doing?
Oh man, we should just get Ryan Fitzpatrick back. So that we should draft Tim Tebow.
Oh my.
Why is his picture for the Bills like a picture of him in a uniform for like the Pirates or Panthers or? He was on the Cowboys. Okay,
He's been on a few different teams.
he's he's like 35 or something.
He's got 10 years. I think 10 years, 10 seasons in the NFL.
He played with Tim Tebow for a while, apparently.
Yeah, you got Tebow, Romo. Who else? He bounced around the league a little bit.
Dave Grohl. He looks like Dave Grohl.
He does.
I have no high hopes for him. I don't know about this guy.
I'm hoping that he's worth the $5 million he's getting paid to be there.
He's getting paid way more than EJ Manuel too.
Yeah, he is.
That's
Absolutely.
ridiculous. Why is he getting paid so much? Because he's been in the league so long, he has to
Yeah.
get that
Because of his experience level.
minimum.
See, the strength of EJ Manuel is he has potential, but that doesn't make you a good quarterback. Experience makes you at least consistent. Doesn't mean you're good, but at least you can be counted on to be somewhat consistent. And he understands things like pressure that EJ Manuel does not. He just gets stomped.
Oh, he's in True Detective season 2. I haven't seen season 1.
I haven't had a chance to look at that show yet.
It looked like a good show. They won a couple of Emmys or something, or at least they're nominated.
Hmm.
All right, Delivery Man was okay.
Oh, the Anchorman movies. I forgot about those.
Anchorman 2 sucked.
That was a long movie.
Yeah, it was.
It's a very long movie.
The Internship was the throwaway movie. It was okay, but it wasn't good.
It's one of those ones where like you're contracted to do so many movies. They're like, all right, guys, let's just hammer this out.
Oh my god, The Dilemma with
Oh.
the fat guy.
What?
You know his name, King of Queens.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That was a horrible movie. It's like you see your friend's wife cheating on him, and you're like, do I tell him or not? You tell him, man.
Yeah.
You tell him. The end of movie.
The movie's over. The
Couples
1 minute
Retreat was good. I liked Couples Retreat. Four Christmases, no. Fred Claus, no. Into the Wild, what is that?
He was in that one.
The breakup, I liked the movie until the end because they needed to get back together.
It's not a romantic comedy. It's called The Breakup.
Wedding Crashers was good.
That's funny.
I think they just added that to Netflix too. If you're looking for a movie on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
Dodgeball was good. Old School, good. But yeah, he hasn't made a really good movie in a while. I mean, you could call Anchorman too, but he wasn't in that. He was uncredited.
Mm.
He was just in the fight scene.
It's probably been about 8 years.
Let's see what Term Life is about. Probably insurance. Sounds like insurance.
You could just go nitpick this movie.
A guy wanted around town by various hitmen, hopes to stay alive long enough for his life insurance policy to kick in and pay out. Why is that a movie? It's not a comedy. That can't be a comedy, right?
A dark comedy, maybe.
No. Oh, it's a crime drama.
Oh,
Right.
so that sounds like a joke, but that's a real thing.
That's a real movie.
All right.
And then Unfinished Business, which is coming out in 2015. We don't know what it's about.
Oh.
But Dave Franco's in it and James Marsden. So there's gonna be pot humor. Nick Frost, he's funny.
Dave Franco.
Yeah, well, I'll watch that maybe.
Mhm.
So Vince Vaughn makes some good movies. I'm tired of watching even bad movies. So I put Wes Welker in.
Good move. He's all right. He'll be okay.
AJ Green, Demarius Thomas. Oh my God, Larry Donnell. Did you see last week?
No.
He scored like 27 points.
Oh yeah, tight end from
Ridiculous.
the Giants.
He scored 23 points in the first half, and then in the whole second half, did they not play him because he scored nothing else? I was like, I went to sleep because it was like the 8:00 game on Sunday night, and after the first half, I was like, 23 points. I'm gonna wake up to like 50 points from this guy.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next day and checked, and still 23. I'm like,
I think the defense finally adjusted.
oh, they still lost by a lot.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to repeat. But I had to drop one of my defenses. I don't remember which other defense I had, but I had to drop one because I had 3 players on bye, and I couldn't drop any of them because I had to pick up. I didn't have enough players to fit in, so I had to drop a defense
Yeah.
because all my bye players were uncuttable. But I'm projected to lose this week because the guy that I'm against, he has a player that just crushed it, 25 points from E. Lacy in the Green Bay blowout game. So I'm still I'm down 2 points. I'm a 2-point underdog.
Yeah, I got Matt Ryan. I actually had Broncos and Buccaneers defense, which are pretty neck and neck. But I had an opportunity to pick up the Eagles, so I did because they're number 1 in the league. So I grabbed the Eagles, and I had to choose which between the Broncos and the Buccaneers I was going to drop.
Yeah,
it's a tough choice.
Yeah.
Like one has more interceptions, the other one has more fumble recoveries, one has more sacks, the other one has whatever else, other stats, points allowed. So it was neck and neck. I made my choice. I'm gonna roll with it. We'll see.
Oh boy, there's 2 notes. I didn't read them. Maybe a trade. No. I'm trying to get rid of Wes Welker actually. Because he's not doing as much as I wanted to. Where's the trade block? Where's trade? Oh, there it is. I put him on the block. I don't think anybody offered me anything for him. This guy's trying to get rid of Andre Ellington.
Well,
I'm happy with what I got.
good luck, buddy.
Well, good luck, buddy. I have. Are we live right now? Did I actually hit the button? Okay. Oh, we got 1 viewer. Hi.
Yeah,
Sorry, this is not video. It's just audio today. Because
deal with it.
if you joined us after the beginning of the show, I'm just not pretty today. I didn't feel like it.
Studio Cat did not put her makeup on.
So there's a guy that I work with, and he's a musician, and I told him that I'd play one of his songs on our show.
Nice.
So he did a parody of "Hey There, Delilah" as Kermit the Frog.
Does he sing it like Kermit?
He tries. He does a good job. So we'll play as much as we can.
Is it like 18 minutes long?
It's 3 minutes 30 seconds. So
That's not bad.
this is his name is Travis Fitch. He does not have any social media, so you can't contact him.
Come on, Travis.
He's got a YouTube video with 1 channel or 1 video. 289 views, more than we got. All right, so this is Ode to Miss Piggy in the tune of "Hey There, Delilah," and we're gonna comment on it during while it's playing.
I took the liberty of writing a
Oh, he's got an
parody
intro.
over a common pop song. You guys know, "Hey there, Delilah," and about peas and carrots. And great tune. I actually love the
That's
tune.
not the lyric, too.
I wrote a parody because I thought it'd be more sensuous if it was about Miss Piggy, like "Ode to Miss Piggy."
Yeah, I work with this guy.
It's
So this is the topic of conversation at the water cooler every
Went with the
day.
kids
We
till
did talk
they-
about it tonight. He made me watch it at work, and I thought I might get in trouble for this. I did it anyways.
You could serenade your bosses.
Uh-oh.
Hey there, Miss Piggy. You know I might be mistaken, but I'm sure I'm smelling bacon. So, hey baby, what's shaking? Looking good. I'm not sure if frogs eat wood, but if I could. Hey there, my sexy hawk, come back home to my humble log where I'll make a plate of flies and we'll discuss the reasons that we do this interspecies thing we do. Me and you. We first met, I was dating a cow. I'm not sure logistically how, but her and I made a lot of kinky love. Very tall. She called me her amphibious stud. That all quickly became a dud when she insisted making out in mud while chewing her cud. That's spitting grass. That's disgusting. Oh, it's what you do to me. And oh, what you do to me.
Yeah, that's a good song. He's a good guy. He is a real where he does originals and covers and stuff. He plays out. Good stuff.
Looks like a light-hearted soul. I'd
Yeah.
high five that guy.
You high five him?
Tell him to keep on keeping
At
on.
first, I thought you said I'd have 5 of that guy.
I'd have 5 of that guy.
Can I have 5 of that guy?
You can just follow me around.
Well,
Just perform music for my life.
I'll let you know what he says to that. We don't have time to listen to the whole thing, but he's got a YouTube channel. You can look at it. Post it somewhere, maybe. Maybe I'll put it on Twitter right now. I'm gonna do it right now.
Bitch, you do it. Do it
I'm
right
doing it.
Do
I'm gonna
it.
share it. Boom.
He-
Sure.
He might not have social media now, but wait till we share him.
It's gonna blow up.
Blow it up. Hashtag Travis Fitch.
There he is. It's official.
He's pretty much a star now.
So I have a bone to pick with a bank.
Those
I
bankers.
had a bad morning. So I started a new job about a month ago, and I don't have a check book, so sending up direct deposit is never easy
Mhm.
for me. I have to go to the bank and I have to get forms and then go back to work and give them to them. And it's just,
Mhm.
going to the bank is a pain in the butt. So I still get paychecks with a
Mhm.
live check. So I get my check yesterday, and we had a lunch meeting, so I couldn't leave at lunch to deposit my check. And then after work, rush, this traffic is just too much. So I just came home.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'll do it on Saturday morning, no big deal. So I go to the bank this morning, go through the drive-through, the ATM drive-through, and just put it in there. And I get a receipt, and it says current balance, and then it says pending. This will be released on Tuesday.
Oh,
So my entire paycheck is now unavailable until Tuesday.
so you would have got paid on Friday?
Yeah.
Like the funds are released Friday? And you have to wait till Tuesday to actually access the money.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I called and complained about it, and they were like, well, the federal bank is closed on Saturday, so we can't do anything about it. We have to wait. We see that you deposited the money, and we see it on your account, but we don't have access to it until Monday, the first business day, and then it'll probably be available on Tuesday.
That's bogus.
It is bogus. And I said, listen, can you just, and I was like, I have things that are direct, like taken out automatically of my paycheck
Yeah.
out of my bank account. So I'm going to overdraft. She's like, no, the funds are there. So if anything automatically comes out, you'll be fine. I just wouldn't use your debit card. So the money is there.
How about you not tell me what to do? How about that?
Like if I went and used my debit card, I'd be approved because I have overdraft.
Yeah. So the way this happened back in the day with the federal banking system is your bank and then my bank, if we were going to exchange funds, they would physically, like the papers, the checks would go to an office,
Mm-hmm.
and the person at the federal bank would look at like my bank's banknote, like my check going to you, and they just keep a ledger like, all right, bank A now owes bank B this much money. And then someone from your bank would pay somebody from my bank, like rent money or whatever, garage sale. And so there's just a guy sitting in an office saying, all right, this bank gets this money, this bank gets this. And he just keeps shuffling money from one side of the desk to the other till he gets through all the checks, and he tallies it all up, and then he tells, all right, this bank, end of the day, this is your tally, this is what you have. Same thing for all the other banks. They used to do that by hand.
Hmm.
So like if it was the 70s, all right, cool, I get it. It takes a little bit of time, but we run everything automatically now.
Yeah.
Like it's all electronic. You don't have to have a guy sitting at a desk looking at checks. You don't do that anymore.
Yeah. It's like,
That's nonsense.
and what I want is I either want, give me $100 till Tuesday,
Yeah.
which is in their power. I've had
Yeah.
overdraft fees before, and I go into the bank. I'm like, listen, guys, I messed up. Can you refund those overdraft fees? Sure, no problem. And I've had overdraft fees in the tune of like $300 that they reverse. So they've given me $300 before.
Yeah.
And I have the money is in the bank. You see the number there. You see that I have it there. You can't just release $100 to get me through the weekend.
Right.
And because I deposited the check in ATM, that check's gone. So I can't be like, well, give me the check back. I'll just go somewhere else.
Right.
I'll cash it at Wegmans.
Yeah.
You know, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I went to, whenever I go to the ATM and I cash it or deposit a check that is above like $500, they put a hold on
Right.
half of it, which I'm fine with. So 2 weeks ago when I got paid, I went to the bank. I went in because I wanted to get my direct deposit forms. And I actually gave the guy the checks and he took out his calculator, added it up, gave me my receipt, and my entire funds were available. No hold on it at all.
Right.
On a Friday, mind you. So there may be different rules. So then I waited around for somebody to give me my direct deposit forms and nobody. So I was like, I gotta go back to work. So couldn't do it that day. So I just want, like, if I said to the lady, I said, if I went into the bank and gave him the check, I could go into the bank and cash this check and you would give me
Money.
cash.
Yeah.
You'd have to, because I'm cashing a check. But because I'm giving you a check to hold for me, you're going to wait. Like, there's no hold on it if I just ask for cash. Can I have the check back, please?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to the bank after this. I'm going to go up there and say, all right, I need you to either release $100 so I can make it through the weekend till Tuesday, or I want you to go out to the ATM, open it up, and give me that check back,
Mm-hmm.
and then cash it.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do that. I mean, they're not going to.
So yeah, it's up to which bank though, because my bank, which I'll give a shout out to, is USAA. They're awesome because I don't have to deal with like banks, physical banks, or bank tellers. If someone hands me a check, I could take a picture of it with my cell phone and deposit it to the bank, and I could do whatever with the check, burn it, eat it, I don't care. But the funds are automatically available.
How long is it? It's automatic?
Instant. Like if you wrote me a check right now and I took a picture of it and sent it to my bank.
If I wrote you a check for $5,000, would they put a hold on some of it?
Probably.
Yeah. But the whole you'd still have some of it. See, I had a Bank of America before this, and they have that take a picture of your check thing.
Yeah.
And I did that once. I never did it again because I did it, and it said your funds will be available in 3 to 5 days.
That's nonsense.
3 to 5 business days. So I'm like, okay, so that check is just useless now.
I don't understand how one bank can look at a check. 'Cause I've been hitting a check for a decent amount of money, like $500 or something, and I take a picture of it, and it's automatically dropped in my account, and I could access it and use it. So what's the deal with other folks? Bank of America.
Well, the bank I have right now, just to shout out that they suck, is Chase. Chase, I don't know their full name.
Cut it out.
I don't know.
Cut it out, Chase.
So I tweeted about it. I said, so what bank should I go with if Chase can't fix my problem? Bank of America, do you want my business?
Oh, no.
And I haven't
I
heard
think it's
anything.
JP Morgan Chase. Take that, JP Morgan Chase.
Take that, JP Morgan Chase, which they're a fine bank. I mean, it's a bank. It's a bank. They hold my money and then they give me my money. But right now they're not giving me my money. They're just holding it.
Well, they take their cut too.
I don't care as long as I get my money. I'm fine. Whatever they do behind the scenes, as long as when I give them a check for $500, I get $500 back if I want it.
So how about HSBC? HSBC.
Hong Kong, Shanghai?
Is it Shanghai or Singapore? Maybe it's Shanghai. Whatever.
No idea.
But it's a Chinese bank, and they were in the U.S. doing domestic banking forever. They recently sold off all their stuff here for us lowbrow folk, and they kept their high roller accounts, but then they went just kind of out of the U.S. But they also were laundering money for criminal organizations.
Well, yeah.
They had drug kingpins coming out of South America and running drugs through Mexico to the U.S.
The Yakuza?
And they had people that the U.S. refers to as on the terrorist watch list. And whether or not they're terrorists is kind of like whatever, hearsay. You can split hairs on that. But it's at least what the U.S. considers terrorist organizations. The HSBC Bank was funneling money to these people and helping launder it. So the response to this was the U.S. just fined them some money. Like it was estimated that they made, billions and billions of dollars in profit off of doing business with these people. And the U.S. is like, all right, well, you give us a couple $1 million. And then HSBC laughed at us as a nation, gave us our little fine of, a few million, and went about their business. Because in their mind, if you do this illegal act and you profit, $1 billion and you get fined $100 million, all right, you're still ahead $900 million. So it makes good business sense to just do business with drug kingpins and terrorist organizations. So that's how HSBC rolls. So great job, HSBC.
Well, maybe they can help me out.
Scumbags.
Yeah. Well, I'm not happy with banks in general right now. I don't know. If I go there and they're like, well, all right, here's $100 or here's your check back, then I'll be really happy. But I'm not expecting anything.
And they all deal in play money anyway. If you look up the fractional reserve banking system, it's all fiat money. It's funny money.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't actually mean anything. Like we all have to work for it. So we go put our human labor in, our human capital, but we get paid out in monopoly money essentially. And like when it doesn't work out for the bank, they could just be like, oh, well, it's not real money, so I'm not going to count that. But if it's us, like, oh no, you overdrafted by $1, so we have to fine you now. Take more of your life away.
Yeah. Well, with the lady on the phone, she was like, now I see the money here. I can see the amount, and I see that you deposited this morning, but I can't do anything with it because we don't have an image of the check. We don't have the picture of it.
So with all the scanning technology we have, when you put that thing in the slot at the ATM and it runs through the machine,
Yeah.
they don't have the ability to scan it.
No, man. You can get, when you go to the ATM and deposit a check, the option is, would you like your receipt emailed to you? Would you like a receipt printed? Would you like no receipt? Would you like a receipt with image scanned picture printed on it?
Gotcha.
So I should have got that and just went like, well,
JP
I'll email
Morgan.
it to you.
JP Morgan Chase.
I'm gonna, maybe I'll like get dressed up and put a suit on before I go so they treat me better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Dark sunglasses.
They're making me nervous. I don't know. I'm just really, because all my plans for the weekend, I have $4 in the bank because I was expecting to get paid, and now I'm not getting paid until Tuesday for work I did for the last 2 weeks.
Ridiculous.
I work for 2 weeks and do a good job, and I expect to get paid. I mean, I should have direct deposit. So that's the thing that I can take away from this. It's my fault, I guess, for not having direct deposit.
Here's the thing. Time is money. So if you were to borrow $100 from the bank, they would charge you interest on it. So if you borrowed $100 today and you took a week, you couldn't just pay them $100 flat at the end of the week. They'd charge you some fee for the time that you had that money. So this time that they're holding your money, are they going to pay you interest on it?
No.
Like if you deposited $100 and you don't have it now, when Tuesday comes around, is it going to be 101? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So they're holding your money. It's in their accounts right now. They're out there lending your money to other folks in the form of like a home loan or a car loan or something.
Mm-hmm.
But your money in their pocket is helping them make more money off of interest on other folks' loans.
I'm telling you, man, I'm angry.
Banksters.
No, I'm not going to.
How do you get in that racket?
I don't know. I just still open a bank.
Generally through loaning to people and starting wars and then profiting off the blood of human beings.
Let's do it.
The human condition.
Let's start a bank. Let's do a Bitcoin bank.
Bitcoin bank.
Let's do it.
It'd suck if you started a Bitcoin bank and you didn't want to get involved in war. It'd be really difficult to be successful as a bank.
Bitcoins require war?
Not Bitcoins, but banking
Just
generally.
banking in general.
All the major banks in the world generally have funded both sides of every major war going back many hundreds of years.
Not Bank of America.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Bank of America.
So they funded many wars then.
Oh, okay.
Like the most famous examples during the Napoleonic Wars, there's a huge battle between France and its allies and England and its allies. And it was essentially a global-sized battle. And the banks funded both sides of the war. So it didn't matter who won. The banks always won. So it turns out Napoleon was defeated at Waterloo. But they did something funny. Before the news got back to London that Napoleon was defeated, they sent somebody ahead of time and told them Napoleon won. So everybody that had bought stock and bonds and English money and English like reserve currency, they're like, oh no, England lost. This is terrible. We got to sell off everything. So they sold off everything that we had to do with England and the English Empire. And then all the banksters bought up all that stuff, all the stocks, the bonds, the money, the currency, the gold bullion, everything. And then the real news reached them like, oh, we defeated Napoleon. This is great. Well, everybody sold off all their English everything. So these banksters bought it up dirt cheap, and then England actually ended up winning. France was defeated, and these banksters in London just pretty much stole a massive amount of wealth from the English Empire.
Banksters.
Those banksters.
That's not nice.
Doing stuff.
Oh,
yeah, check that out. Fractional reserve banking.
Fractional reserve. Google it.
Google it.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
What's simultaneous sex?
Simultaneous sex. Is that when you're a boy and a girl at the same time?
So it's just sex.
Oh, you're not talking about parts and pieces. You're talking about the physical act?
I'm just reading this headline that says 2 teachers are arrested for having simultaneous sex with a teenage boy.
Does he have 2 sets of equipment?
They're both having sex with him at the same time. But that's impossible.
I think logistically that might be a challenge, but A for effort. Does he get an A for effort? Was that his grade?
I think he does.
Nice. 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 Nice.
So,
Nice.
we'll play that in the background during this. So, 2 teachers were arrested for having a threesome, apparently, with one of their students.
Nice.
So we're talking about like 5 years old,
Let's
17
see.
years old.
Well, no. One of the women was 32. The other was 24. And the boy was 16.
Nice.
They videotaped it.
Well, all right. If you're ever going to do a criminal act and you decide, hey, let's sober do this, knowing it's illegal, and then we'll videotape it, you are a winner. You get a Darwin Award.
Yeah,
today.
don't videotape anything you do that's illegal. Don't
Not
do
that,
it.
not that we advocate breaking the law.
Was see, I know that there's certain different rules in different states and stuff. Like the age of consent is different.
Yeah, I think Tennessee and
What
Alabama are
state is this?
pretty far down there.
I don't know.
I think age of consent in somewhere down south, the lowest I think it goes is 16,
Nah, man.
unless you get a parent's signed permission slip to be married, and then I think it goes down to conditions.
I'm gonna say that there's probably like a state where age of consent is like 12.
I don't think of the U.S. anymore, at least. I think the
Age of consent in Canada is 16. All United States set limits between 16 and 18. That's crap.
I think by yourself, the lowest it goes is 16. But if
I'm not arguing for lower, by the way. I'm not arguing for lower. I've heard.
I think it's funny that if you get a parent's permission slip, you can get married at 15. Like little Johnny can go on the field trip. We'll allow it. But should we let him get married? I don't know. We should discuss this over dinner.
I like how New York has like subsections. Like there's, sometimes where it's okay. Let's see what that means. Legally recognized marriage. So you can be married. If you're married to somebody that's under 16, you can have sex with them.
All right, here's the thing. Let's say you immigrate from India. You had a planned marriage. Your 2 sets of parents get the 2 of you married, and you're maybe 15 and 16 or something like that. You move to New York in the United States. What are they going to do? They bust down your marital door, pull you from your marital bed? Come on, man.
All right, this was Louisiana. Age of consent in Louisiana is 17, so he's 1 year away. A felony carnal knowledge of a juvenile is committed when a person who is 17 years of old has sexual intercourse with consent with a person who is 13 years of age or older, but less than 17 years of age.
So if you're 17 and you have sex with your significant other that's 16, you're committing a felony? Is that what that says?
Yeah, I've heard arguments about like these teachers are, they're pretty attractive people. I mean, they're not models or anything, but they're not some of the scary ones you see. You kind of have to treat, I don't know, it's hard to say.
There's a double standard.
There is a double standard, and there just is.
And what's funny about it is even though we know there's a double standard, it doesn't change the fact that there's still a double standard.
Everybody agrees, I think everybody agrees except for like maybe militant feminists. I don't know why, but it's like men and women view sex differently.
Nice.
It's just
Nice.
women are emotional, typically, stereotypically, sex is an emotional exchange, and men, it's a physical exchange. So this 16-year-old having sex with his two teachers is like nice. Like
Yeah, but
he's
Nice.
bragging about it, and
The
his head-
difference being when you're 16, you're still developing.
yeah, he doesn't have the ability to make that decision.
So, well, that's a matter of debate too. What's the age of accountability versus the age of consent? Like the age of consent is legally when are you allowed to make the decision?
Yeah.
Like by the calendar date. The age of accountability is when are you developed enough to know, like, to make that decision, like how to make that decision. Like, when are you actually psychologically or physiologically able to make those choices? So it's like, what's the number on the page versus what in reality? Because there's kids that are mature at 15. There's kids that don't mature until they're like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at some point I don't know why they feel like they have to put a single number down on a page and make that, we're going to dictate this rule. Because then what happens to that kid who's 19 and super immature? But I mean, then they're going to pull out the book and be like, well, the book says 16, so, it's okay now. Like,
Yeah.
all right, this kid can still be exploited at 19. But because his calendar date is more than what's on the page, you're not going to count that as exploitation. You're like, well, no, he hasn't been exploited, but we're going to let it go because the page says 16,
Right.
so it's not a crime. All right, so what about the really mature kids? Maybe they're in Tennessee or Alabama where the age of consent is 16. They decide to get married and they're doing well for themselves. They're smart, they're intelligent, they got it going on. They're adults and they're cool. We're gonna view all these different range of people and all the different situations they have in life, and we're all gonna nail it down to a single page and be like, yeah, because I'm a bureaucrat and I wear a tie, I'm gonna go ahead and say this number is it because I'm an expert because I'm a politician.
It's something that you can't really make a black and white ruling on. But it's hard to make a non-black and white ruling on because then the argument starts and it's like it's an uncomfortable conversation to have. Like even right now, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, okay, anybody who's under the age of 18 off limits to anybody over the age of 18. Period.
Which is awkward because if you're in that age range, who do you hang out with? If you're 17,
if you're 18 or 19 or 17, you're like, oh boy.
I mean, you generally hang out with kids just your age anyway.
Yeah.
And I say kids because you're still a kid at 19, 20.
Hmm.
Like you're not, I don't know. People make a big deal about this crap. Bunch of nonsense. So if it's a 34-year-old man, and a 26-year-old man, and a 16-year-old girl, this is a completely different conversation.
Now, shouldn't people that are like feminist, I guess, be like, well, I don't know, because you're like, oh, a man took advantage of a girl because a girl is weaker than a man, and now these women are taking advantage of a man because he's weaker than them.
So that's really interesting because you have to find a fault line within the feminist movement because there's like very principled feminists who their one principle they go by is gender equality. So in their mind, there should be no difference between a 16-year-old boy and these adult women. Like that situation and then two adult men and a 16-year-old girl should be judged the same. It should be an equal situation.
Mm-hmm.
Where people get wrapped around the axle is social theory and feminism together. They'll start to lay blame and say that the situations are not the same and the situations are different because, gender roles in society pushes people to do certain things. So they would never judge those two scenarios as equal. They would never lay blame on the two women with the boy the same way they would lay blame with the two men and the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on what there's more than one faction within feminism that would view this in different ways. So like the more militant ones would be looking for blame. They're always looking to blame people and point fingers. Whereas the more principled people will just be like, dude, really? Why can't we all be equal?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at this like human beings and individuals. And I think if you knock the gender role thing out of there, your gender identifiers, and if you don't say it's like men, women, boys, girls, whatever, if you just say individuals, like this person did this, or this person had, it was done to this person, it changes, the way you think about it. All those
does completely.
Like the complexity and the layers of nuance go away. It's just these two individuals at this age had sexual intercourse with this individual at this age. And it kind of changes the way you think about it. Does a 34 and a 26-year-old have any business having sex at the same time with a 16-year-old?
Yeah, that's how people should be looking at it, because I didn't even think of that. It totally makes it clear, like, it's wrong. Because, they're not able to make those. They might understand that, oh, sex is good because it feels good, but they don't understand the things that can happen from it and the consequences and things, and just it's just the big ball of things you don't want to open up. And you're getting older people,
and then whatever experiences that person's having at 16, those get imprinted on you. That's going to stick with you.
Yeah, something you wanted to do at 16, you might not want to do at 25. You might think about it later and be like, oh man, I made mistakes. You can't take it back.
So here's this 16-year-old kid who's developing and growing in his little world, and let's say he's captain of his football team. He's got friends. He thinks he's super cool. And then on Friday night, he goes and he rails 34 and 26-year-old teachers. All right, so his mentality going out into the world when he gets to be 18, 19 years old, and then he's out of high school, out of those situations, completely different environment. All right, how prepared is he for the real world now? He's have to go somewhere, get a job. He's have to feed himself, put a roof over his head.
Where's all the hot teachers?
He thinks he's the man. He's got a grill in his face. He's like, hey, yo.
He goes to college and he's like, how come I'm not having sex with my teachers now?
Where's my requisite 2 females?
Yeah, well,
they want to subjugate themselves. Freaking weird.
The best part about this is I have no control over the situation and I have no responsibility. So whatever the outcome is, they're not coming to me and asking me what they should do. So, at the end of the day.
But how weird would that be though,
luck.
if you were a juror? That's the weird thing is right now people have the comfort of not be like, whatever happens, it's a weird situation. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. So I get to step back.
Yeah.
What if you didn't get to step back? What if you were one of the 12 jurors? And they're like, all right, now you got to make a call, man.
I don't know.
And you see him, he's 16 and he's all blinged out. He's sitting there. He's like,
Is
he
he
wants to
all
high
blinged out?
five you. He's like, every time he goes by the juror bench, he's like, hold on. He's like, yeah. He's trying to fist bump you. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, who didn't have a teacher in their junior high to high school life that they thought was attractive? Everybody has that. Every guy, maybe girls don't. Although, maybe I don't know. I have no idea how I would. I'd actually have to listen to the evidence and see if there was actually some sort of manipulation going on. Like, oh, we're going to give you an A if you do this or something, or was it completely consensual? I don't know.
And that's weird too, because if it was consensual, where do you draw the line of where you can tell somebody else what to do with your body? So let's say he's 16-year-old. He is mature. He is developed. He developed early. He's mentally, psychologically with it. He's an adult. Where do we, you could say as a society or as a group or whatever, well, where do we, it doesn't matter how many numbers we have, if it's just us two or if it's the whole state of New York, what business do we have telling this kid what he can and cannot do with his body? If he wants to do this, it's not physically harming anybody. Nobody's getting killed. Yes, there's a physical interaction, but it's a consensual one. And it's one that all parties agree to. What business do we have beating down that bedroom door and pulling their bodies off of each other? Really? What right do I have to go do that to that person? Or any of those 3 people?
I remember, that reminds me of a conversation I had about marijuana and how it was enforcement of laws that are where there's no victim. The police aren't there to stop victimless crimes.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be policing things that aren't a problem. I go out and I decide I want to smoke pot. If I overdose from smoking pot and die, who's the victim?
How does one overdose on?
Well, you
marijuana?
don't. But I'm just all right. Heroin.
What would you do? Pass out? Go to sleep?
But I mean, I'm not saying this is a victimless crime because clearly he is a victim. But it's it's a crime where there was no crime in the major sense of the word. Nobody was
right.
I don't know. I mean,
So
if somebody was injured, maybe depending on his psychological state. But if he was if the teachers held him down and raped him, clear,
right,
wrong. But as far as I know, it didn't happen that way. But psychologically, they may have manipulated him into emotionally raping him.
Yeah, it's called grooming. If you pick somebody out you're going to want to have sex with,
Yeah.
you're not going to do it violently. They call it grooming. You'll take it's usually the children, and you slowly expose them to the idea of sexuality, and you expose them to certain levels of sexual exploitation until you get them to the point where psychologically they let it happen
Yeah.
because they've been manipulated to that point. But that's a calculated act
That's
over time.
evil. That's a person who needs to be killed. Ugh. All right. Well, we got 10 minutes left. We need to go to something happier.
Stop raping people.
Let's-
Jeez.
Speaking of, let's. We got a new Mastodon video.
Okay, this is awesome.
What-
Oh, no.
I guess we'll listen to that. It's 5 minutes long. So that's going to take half of our time. So
Well, we
might
can
not
play it
listen
in the
to whole-
background.
We'll play in the background. Mastodon. I never heard of them before.
This is a progressive metal band. Half the members are from Rochester, New York. Half the band is from Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
Um,
I want to put a bow on that conversation that back there. The podcast does not support underage sex.
we do, yeah.
We don't.
However, we also don't support putting in other people's business and telling them what to do when they're a consenting adult.
So just want to let you guys know. Mastodon. So they're like a big band. I've heard of them.
Yeah, they come around a lot.
Oh.
They've been getting bigger. They were releasing albums, getting their name out there.
I didn't know you liked death metal,
It's progressive metal.
progressive metal.
It's a bit different.
So it's not like Norwegian metal.
No, it's got influence from other genres of metal, but they're pretty super cool guys. They don't afraid of anything.
They don't afraid of everything.
Yeah, it's internet references.
Oh, is it? Nice.
So I don't know. The recent controversy is because obviously if you're listening at home, you can't see this video unless you want to go check it out. It's called The Mother Load.
I'll share it on
It's,
Twitter too.
It's a regular metal video. There's band playing, and you can kind of understand some of the lyrics, maybe not. There's closed captioning on YouTube. So this is kind of a fun song, but part way through the video, all of a sudden, all these women, African descent, show up and start dancing. So they're in like tight spandex and G-strings and stuff, and they start booty popping. So at the very beginning, it almost looks like a Nine Inch Nails song. Maybe there's like some creepy stuff happening, and then partway through, there's just these women booty popping. Now, you can watch this video completely out of context. It's just weird, but it's funny. It's fun. It's just like what's going on here. It's kind of a little off the wall, but everyone seems to be having a good time.
Yeah.
Now, if you put it in context, half the band is from Atlanta, Georgia, and if you go down to Atlanta, Georgia, there's a lot of it depends on what you want to call it, you want to categorize it, but it's American culture or urban culture or black culture or ghetto culture, like whatever category you want to peg on that. It's deep South hip hop rap, and part of that culture is females do this thing called booty popping. Whatever, man, not my culture, not my deal, but I'm not going to tell anybody else what to do with their dance moves. So they released this video because they're doing a shout out to Atlanta, Georgia, where half of them are from. So they just gathered up these women from Atlanta, all dancers from different walks of life. They had studio dancers, ballet dancers, strippers, like whatever you could think of. And they all came there, danced to the music, had a good time, and people lost their mind. Like the metal community, I guess, got split. Half the metal community, the fans, are like, this is fun, this is awesome, this is cool. The other half, I guess, were supremely racist. And the racist crowd was itself split. Half of it thought they have no place in metal society and these black women should not be dancing and booty popping and they're not welcome. The other half thought it was racist because they thought this metal band was exploiting these women and they're appropriating black culture for their own financial gain. So this seemingly like just not important, fun little music video for this progressive metal band that's kind of popular, but they're not necessarily a household name either. It's and then all of a sudden Twitter and all the social media, everybody blows up over race issues. Now this isn't Ferguson. This isn't a cop shooting a black kid. Like this isn't us as a nation bombing 7 Muslim countries. It's just a band doing a music video with some women dancing, which these women would dance in a rap video, no one would blink an eye. If they had white women doing, dancing on a stripper pole, no one would bat an eye. But you have a white progressive metal band, and they make a video with a bunch of black women booty popping. All of a sudden, it's an issue where we're going to fight about it.
It's weird. Like if they had if let's say they went out and found like 15 white girls to do the same dancing,
Yeah.
they might get the same reaction like, oh, why couldn't you have black girls do that? Because that's a black girl thing.
Oh, that's the reception Miley Cyrus got when she's like 70 pounds soaking wet. And she tried booty popping,
Yeah.
and all the black women that generally do this for fun or whatever in their life are like, "What do you? That's not the thing you do. That's my dance." I don't know.
Oh, ladies, please. Can't we all just get along? Just everybody shake their booty, whether or not you got junk in the trunk or you got a compact.
There's a booty kaleidoscope going on. So the funny part about this is the one of the dancers in this video released, I don't know if it was Twitter or Instagram or something, but she released a statement. And she's like, look, these women from all walks of life, we didn't know each other beforehand, but we all got there, we met, we had a good time, encouraging each other, having fun. Like there was nothing exploitative about it. There was nothing racist about it. And they said the band was
There's a white one.
welcoming and cool. And the funny part is they're actually dancing to metal music. They didn't have like Lil Wayne on in the background or something. It's Lil Jon.
It looks like everybody had a good time. There's quite a craze going on these days with those booty videos. Like
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj's video, and then they had Jennifer Lopez's new video.
Yeah, what was the other one? I'm all about the bass. No trouble.
Yeah, she doesn't do any like
No butt
shaking,
jiggling?
no butt shaking in that video.
So you got a white girl with no butt shaking. You got Jennifer Lopez, Hispanic chick, with, I don't know, I assume butt shaking.
Lots of butt shaking.
And then Nicki Minaj with butt shaking.
Butt shaking overload.
So we have a different scales of butt shaking depending on your, I don't know, your self-identified gender,
Yeah.
your ethnicity, and socioeconomic status.
I just want to. Where's the like the penis shaking videos? Yeah, that's coming.
Yeah, if you were a true feminist, you would be like, all right, now we need to go shake some penises.
It's gonna happen. The internet. It's
So,
out
all
there
right.
somewhere. Like that video in Turn Down for What?
Yeah.
There's a lot of that in there.
So women's rear ends is booty popping. What would a man penis shaking be?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't know.
That is misinterest.
Wiener popping.
I'm sick of your patriarchy.
Wiener wagon. Wiener wagon done.
Wiener wagon.
Patent pending. That's the name of our show today. Is called Wiener Wagon.
You can't judge me.
That's our title.
I'll wag my wiener if I want to.
I love when we get to the end of the show and we have a good title. It makes my job so much easier.
Male empowerment.
We got 2 minutes left. I got to do some business, I guess. We lost our one viewer.
I think it was the wiener wagon.
Probably. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be here maybe next week. I'm not sure what's going on. Make sure you check out all the other shows on Christopher Media. The 2 new shows, Oddcast with Jenna and John. That's available on iTunes and Stitcher and ChristopherMedia.net. Captain's Table, The Captain's Table with Noah. He is talking about all the fun LARPing, tabletop RPGs, and general nerddom. That is available on iTunes and Stitcher as well, and ChristopherMedia.net. I think he's got 4 episodes up now. Oh yeah, they got the Weedsmen. They're still holding strong, unregimented, still doing what they do every week.
What about Todzilla X?
Todzilla X holding it up. My new job, I haven't had time to listen to any podcast. I haven't even listened to ours. I'm working so much.
It's pretty good.
Dude, I made 4 sales last week.
Nice.
Yeah, I got $240 commission.
Nice.
Balling. But I don't get that till the end of the month.
Straight baller. Oh, they're going to put a hole in that too.
They pay out commissions the last Friday, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. What are you doing today? What's the rest of the day? Mark look like?
I'm resting. I'm chilling.
Hey, you worked hard last night.
Yeah, I did a 16-and-a-half-hour day yesterday. So.
Yeah, and your salary, so you didn't get paid anything extra.
No,
That
sure
sucks.
didn't.
You should quit.
I get a gold sticker. A
Join-
for effort.
How about starting a union? You guys have a union?
Oh,
over here?
hell no. We're not having that debate in 2 minutes. Unless.
I had at work. I worked at Barnes and Noble. I always used to tease my manager about starting a union of booksellers, and he'd be like, "Listen, man, you can't joke about that
It's serious.
because when
business.
people start talking about unions, stuff happens."
Yeah, stuff does happen.
So
Nobody goes stuff.
I was part of a union once, and they did nothing for me except for take $10 out of my paycheck every week.
There you go.
So, but I support the unions. Go Teamsters. What?
I support individuals. Do what you want.
All right. Oh, I forgot to play the intro. Oh, we don't have time.
Ah.
Maybe I do.
Hurry
Bye,
up.
guys.
Thanks for listening to M&M Question Everything. Please don't forget to rate, review, share, and subscribe. Visit question-everything.net. And if you can, click the donate button to support the show. Thanks again. And don't forget to question everything. This has been a Portsmouth studio production.